All right, and next we have Libra rising and sun. So this is a big deal for you guys. This Libra eclipse is, of course, happening in your first house. The South Node has been moving through this and will continue to move through your first house or wherever your sun is over the course of the next year. So again, this is a time of a lot of transformation for you guys, some big radical changes. And with the South Node moving through your first house, with the eclipse being in your first house, this is really pointing to a need to unattach, detach, wow, detach from old things that likely have become toxic. For many of you guys, it could be something in relationships. I did pull this Venom card, and it has this kind of insidious nature of something in your life remaining that just feels old, toxic, like it's been building up. Like imagine literally not taking a shit for 3 days. It's like you're building up these toxins in your body. And it's time to release it. And there's something about this likely happening within maybe a few relationships of yours, or within the way that you manage your own health, or kind of these patterns and things that you've gotten stuck in terms of habits. Like, oh, I've been going to bed really late, or I've been texting my ex, or I've been online shopping. I don't know, like it's going to look different for everybody. But there's a sense of having attachments to maybe, again, for many of you, it will be relationally focused. Maybe I've been too much of a people pleaser. Maybe I haven't spoken my mind about something. Maybe I have been withstanding a lot. But there's whatever it is, there's a sense of like I need to release something in regards to this. For many of you guys, I think it could be health related, because the ruler of this eclipse is Venus, which is in Pisces in your sixth house, along with Saturn there. So for some of you guys, it could be health related or work related, responsibility related. Maybe there's something that feels like it's been unfair in your life, and imbalanced in your relationships. There's something here where it's like there's an imbalance and unfairness that can be happening in work, health, or relationships especially. And it's like, it's got to be addressed. Otherwise, it's going to become toxic again, or it already is toxic. And then it becomes an illness, or you have, something, a breakdown or a rift happen as a result, or whatever. There's something can happen within work. So there's this general sense of like, this can't be sustained. This has to be adjusted. This has to be released in some kind of way, because of the level of imbalance. And so I encourage you guys to really sit down and do an assessment of these areas of your life and ask if there are any lingering feelings or lingering issues or things that you've kind of been very chill about and been willing to turn the other cheek about. And it's just been kind of psychically in the background building up over time. I think that it's also possible that some people could come to you and they could have issues or things that they're trying to air out or they're trying to fix. And you're kind of like this source for them as well, to listen, to hear them out, to help them. But there's a sense of like, whether it's you approaching a relationship or a change that needs to be made, or it's somebody else approaching you, whatever it is, it's like, let's be quite open-minded with how this can turn out. Let's be open to other perceptions or alternative ways of doing things, or getting guidance from somebody who maybe knows better or who's had a similar experience before. There's a sense of like, I am open, I'm adaptable, agile, I'm not stuck, I'm not assuming I know best, I'm not holding on to my way is the right way. So there's a sense of like collaborativeness that I think Libra is always quite good with. And it's helping you, I think, in many ways within your relationships, within your work, with your health, all these things that I mentioned, to kind of bring greater balance to these areas of your life. So let's say, for example, it's health. Maybe you go to the doctor and you get some tests done and you take their advice on certain lifestyle implications or food implications or whatever that would help you make those adjustments. Or if it's a relationship and you've had these really people-pleasing tendencies and then you've talked to your therapist about it and you've clearly seen that there needs to be some boundaries, maybe you go up and you talk to that person and you discuss what would boundaries look like, and it's this kind of two-way conversation rather than this very like aggressive kind of energy. The North Node and the Sun being in the seventh house does indicate that we are in a time of having some kind of firmness and having some kind of boundaries, and maybe a little bit more of a like a growth edge that we're kind of accomplishing in relationships. Maybe we're dealing with confrontation head on. Maybe we are breaking new ground within relationships or advancing relationships in new ways that we haven't done before. Maybe we're leaving old toxic relationship patterns behind for new, better relationships. But there's a sense of like advancement that's happening from being bold, being courageous, and doing things outside of your comfort zone or differently that, again, might involve you facing some of the venomous or the toxic aspects of life that are sometimes really uncomfortable to address. And it could be so much easier and so much lighter to just like act like it's not a problem, or to be passive, or to brush it under the rug or sweep it under the rug. And I really get the sense that like this is not the time to do that. This eclipse is drawing it out and having you face it head on and communicate about it and be quite open about it with the people that are involved, because it's very likely going to involve another person of some sort, even if it's a professional like a doctor or a therapist, or if it is like an employer or a partner or a friend. I really feel like this is going to involve somebody else in particular, but it is going to be highly focused on you and like what changes you can make, what things you can stop doing, and bringing a lot of self-awareness and honesty and like accountability and ownership to your side of the equation. And then hopefully the other person will be able to do that too if it does involve that level of complexity. So yeah, Venus also with Saturn in the 6th house. I think that these changes that you can make, or these things that you can face very truthfully, might adjust what your day-to-day life looks like. It might adjust what level of responsibility you take on at work. It might adjust the way that you take care of your health, or the way that you ask for support. There's a sense of like things adjusting either within the workplace, health, or relationships to match this release of the toxins, this new paradigm that you've kind of agreed upon or you decided upon. And so it's going to, again, change your day-to-day existence in a very practical sense. And Venus and Saturn are also sextiling Jupiter and Uranus in the 8th house. So I actually feel like this is going to help you with much more deeper healing than maybe you realized. It might help you release a lot of things from the past. It might help you even on a more practical sense. Like if this is related to work, it could help you in terms of paying off debt, or making sure that you feel more emotionally or financially secure. Basically, it leads to a greater feeling of healing and safety and security and confidence in oneself as a result of making these changes in your relationships, your work, or your health. And they could be even just really small changes. So I think, again, reflecting on these areas of your life, seeing what feels imbalanced or what feels like it hasn't been fully addressed, maybe something that felt toxic or that you need to get ahead of in order to make these advancements that you're wanting to make. And I think you'll notice this kind of fans out and has like even greater impact on other healing of areas of your life that you didn't even intentionally go into this thinking, I'm going to work on this. And you'll notice these really beautiful side benefits of making these adjustments. So that is what I'm seeing for you, Libra. If that resonates, I would love to hear from you down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends, and have a beautiful day. Bye.